Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the newest chapter of Hunter x Hunter, chapter 411. We have been waiting for this day for nearly 2.5 years, guys. It's been a long journey, but we finally made it. We have more content from Hunter x Hunter. So, I mainly want to talk about the bombshell at the end of the chapter. We did get a lot of useful information. We actually did a time jump from the last chapter because the last chapter was at around 1 o'clock on the 12th day, and now we're at 8 p.m. on the 12th day. So we're kind of going back and seeing what happens before Halkenberg's funeral, right? And we do see Balsamilko, possessed by Halkenberg, talking to Prince Benjamin. That's a whole thing. We do see a character named Sarah Hell, I think her name is, and she also comes to the Nen class, and that's what this chapter covers, the second Nen class for Kurapika. And I really do like we get a lot of Kurapika here, right? And when we look at the way the Nen class is going, right? So Kurapika is splitting everyone into beginner and, more advanced because there's already been one class, right? And he's trying to help everyone. His duty is to teach everyone Nen, but he's trying to keep everyone occupied and, you know, it's an advantage for Kurapika to have people there, right? Even with silent majority in the background. Kurapika goes on a long monologue going over the whole succession war and the actual motives of, the Konkin Empire, right? The whole purpose of the war itself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this chapter was very text heavy, and I was having a hard time, like, fully understanding everything. After maybe my third go around and checking out our boy New World Review, shout out to Liam, he's the GOAT. I was able to understand it, of what he was actually trying to say. After all that, though, we have the bombshell at the end of the chapter where, after he explains the whole, purpose of the succession war, all the dark things about it, and how if the succession war doesn't finish by the time they get to the new continent, something bad might happen, right? And he says, by the way, the 14th prince does not possess the qualifications for the succession war. What? Right? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But if we look at the actual qualifications, right, and the last shot of Queen Oito, it does kind of make sense here because there's something we don't know yet, and it's pretty strange. So, the qualification is that you need to be a child of King Nasubi's illegal wife, right? You need to be a child of one of the wives. That's why, Morena isn't in this succession war, because King Nasubi has a mistress and that whole thing happened. She got scarred, GG's for her. But if we look at Prince Woble, right? Prince Woble is actually the child of the 8th queen, Oito. But when we look at her face in the last chapter, she's definitely hiding something. Now, a lot of people are going to the thing with Longi because she's a bodyguard and she is one of the children of Beyond Netero. And she actually inferred that one of the princes might be a child of Beyond Netero. A lot of people speculate it's Saradnik. It is kind of obvious because our boy is so OP. He kind of looks similar to, a young Netero, so it's not that crazy, and it's most likely going to be confirmed. But now when we look at Woble, right, that's like a kind of confusing thing here, right? Like, is Woble maybe not Queen Oito's child? Maybe she's not even Nasubi's child. Now, something I just thought of, right, like real quick, which is an easy explanation, is maybe Queen Oito has like a twin sister or something. So maybe it's the child of her sister or some kind of it could be a lot of things, really, but that's just something I thought about, right? Because we do have a lot of themes like that, right? Like switch to birth. That could make sense, right? Maybe Queen Oito seeing her sister distressed about this whole thing, and she went in her stead and to protect, you know, Prince Wobble, the child of her twin sister. Maybe. If I'm on the mark with that, that would be insane. Another thing, though, it could just be Kurapika capping, right? He's like, I got a room full of bodyguards that are trying to kill the prince. I'm not going to allow that to happen. So I'm going to say this to divert their attention, especially since they're all really trusting me now and they're all like shocked at the revelation I just gave. Maybe they're going to be like, oh, damn, okay. So we'll back off, right? But at the same time, they're all hired to fulfill a certain job. So they're still going to probably go after Prince Wobble regardless. So I don't really think Kurapika is lying about this, just because if we look at Queen Oito's face in that last panel, that is not for nothing. She's definitely hiding something. She's sleeping with her eyes open. She's like, something's weighing on her mind. So we're going to definitely find that out, hopefully in the next chapter. But I know Togashi likes to do these things where there's a big bombshell you find out in the next batch in 4 years. So hopefully not. Hopefully we get more stuff from this, more big reveals. I know in the next few chapters we're going to be getting stuff with the Phantom Troop and Machi and all that. So just stay tuned because we're back. We're going to be getting weekly Hunter x Hunter for the next 9 weeks at least, maybe even 10, because we also got chapter 421 sent to Jump as well. So I don't know if they're saving that for the next batch or they're just bringing that. But yeah, stay tuned for Togashi's Twitter updates as well, because that gives us very important information when more chapters are actually going to be released and, the progress of them being made. So support our boy. If you want to support me as well, leave a like on the video, guys. As always, it's been SJ Benj. Peace.